Yeah, so I just hope that after we come out of this lockdown and this coronavirus pandemic, we will be able to reconnect with people and actually enjoy time talking to each other physically and not being on our phones, and maybe walking extra kilometer to the local stranger workshop in Shibuya. It will make sense because you'll be like, this is so cool. I'm going to enjoy meeting this guy because I might not be able to if there's another virus coming by. Or, you know what I mean? I just hope that this isolation will push us to reconnect physically again and appreciate the short moments we live. And that's kind of the idea behind Local Stranger. The name Local Stranger comes from local and stranger. You want me to talk about that?
Well, thank you. Is that what it comes from?
Yeah.
Local stranger?
Yeah, it really comes from local and stranger. Okay, fuck off, dude.
No. But yeah, no, because that's like one thing that when you first told me about it, I thought it was a really cool idea. Like when you explain the meaning of what local stranger means, not just local stranger, but when you explain the meaning to me, that really like stuck with me because I got it. And can you explain a bit about that? Like, what does it mean other than just the words themselves? And
yeah, I mean, number one, I think it's quite a radical combination of words. You know what I mean? It's quite it's two opposite spectrums in one person, right? Which is exactly what I am. Because like I said previously, the brand is a reflection of me. So it's like, I'm always the other guy. I'm always the guy that's not from the place where I live. No matter how much I try to be local, I will always be a stranger. You know what I mean? I can have 101% of my friends being local. I can 101% contribute to the local culture in terms of creative culture, pay my taxes, have a job, whatever, be part of the system. But I will always be that guy, you know, that came from another country, you know. And it's funny enough, every country I moved in, the previous country followed me. That's where I'm from. So when I moved to France from Russia, they were like, the Ruskov, the Russian guy. I was like, okay. Then when I moved to France to Canada, Canadians were like, oh, Nix is like the French guy. He's the French b-boy. And I was like, okay, that's because
that's one thing with like the cheesecake and stuff. And he's Nix too, your half brother.
But cheesecake is from New York, dude. It's not even from France.
No, but it's a block of cheese. It was a block of cheese.
A block of cheesecake. Okay, sure. Get Blessed One on call. Actually, I called him not too long. I called him 2 days ago. Yeah. We spent 3 hours.
Don't get sidetracked.
Okay, anyways. So, and then when I moved to Canada, I was the French guy, right? And I was like, that's quite interesting because if I go to France, like, my crew will be like, no, dude, you're not French, you're Russian. And then when I moved to Netherlands, I was the Canadian guy. Now that I moved to Asia, it even gets more interesting. I'm the white guy, you know, because I'm from the Western side. So it's just like it shows you that no matter how much I'm trying to be local, I will always be a stranger. And that's when I was like, it was quite interesting because I didn't want to hate on the local part, but at the same time, I wanted to embrace being a stranger because I've always been frustrated of being like the outsider. And then by creating this brand, it's kind of like, hey, it's okay to be the other guy. It's okay to be a stranger. But the more you embrace being a stranger, the more local you become. Because you just accept being the other guy, and then the more locals will actually welcome you because you're just comfortable with being that guy that will come for a minute, and then you know that you will leave. That's also your advantage because by being local, you have an advantage on the strangers because I can go to any local place. I can hang out with all the locals because of the culture. But at the same time, I'm a stranger. That gives me that I always have an opportunity to keep on moving. And, you know, and thinking outside and maybe analyzing local things with a different point of view. Like when I'm going to move to Japan, dude, I'm not going to see things the same way you see it. And especially Abe. or Akira or Shintaro. You know what I mean? Because they've seen it so many times. That little character on a parking lot sign, for me, it's gonna be like, holy shit, that's so cool. For them, it's like, oh, dude, I was raised with it. I don't really give a shit. The same thing when I went to Canada. You know, some things you guys were like, wow, Nix is really excited about this, and you guys are like, dude, it's just an English breakfast. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? You know? So that's kind of the idea.
It's just ginger beer. It's not that spicy.
Dude, it's fucking spicy. It's Jamaican ginger beer, okay? Yeah. Get that in it, Jamaican. So yeah, local stranger is that. Is basically, and what I was trying to tell you earlier is like an expat is not a local stranger, because a lot of people tend to say, oh, so you're just an expat living in the country and having a job. And I was like, an expat doesn't get involved with the local community. Yeah. An expat doesn't get involved with the scene. An expat doesn't live the local ways and by local rules. An expat lives by his own ways of rules, and he has his expat friends that have expat jobs. Especially in Singapore, is very prominent. Like, I don't have any expat friends in Singapore because I'm just not related to them. You know what I mean? It's just a different lifestyle, but all my friends are local, from Radical Force to the local DJs to skateboarders. You know what I mean? I document parties that no expat goes to, because it's a pure local. Even locals don't know about what the locals are doing that I know and I am at, because of the community and the culture. And I think that's what Local Stranger is digging deeper than that. And the messaging was all about that. And then in a way, I was looking around me, and I was in the elevator, and I was looking around me, and people were literally like, who is this guy? He must be traveling to Bali. He just has a layover, you know, like.
Because of the way you dress?
Because of the way I dress, because of the tattoos, because of the way I behave, the music I listen to, the stuff I design. You know what I mean? It's just like I felt like an outsider, and every day living that. So that's why the Local Stranger was getting stronger and stronger. And I've really realized is like, I don't want to hate on that system lifestyle of local, because you need the system to pay your bills and you need the system to buy your groceries. But at the same time, you are a stranger in your own environment. I am and that's also why I don't break with anybody anymore, because I feel like a stranger in the own b-boy community. You know, like that stranger feel is touching every point of your life. You know, like the reason why I was talking to Bless is Bless is the number one stranger within the scene. We all know that. You know what I mean? He is like the hip hop punk guy that is, oh, you guys like Wu-Tang? I'm going to slap on a Nirvana behind it, because fuck being
or
part
like
of the
R&B song or something like that.
Exactly. And and that's why I feel like me and Bless get along really well, and all of us, because we're part of the system, but at the same time we feel like strangers. How many times have you went to a hip hop party lately and you're like, this is weird, I don't know if I'm feeling this. I'd rather be home and listen to, maybe in Japan not, but in Singapore it's almost every single time. Like, I'm here, all my friends are here, I'm enjoying the time, but the moment I'm not with my friends and I'm trying to connect to the art of music and the culture, and you're just like, I don't recognize this culture anymore. This is not something that I want to relate to. This is not me. Am I too old? Or is it? And then I realized, you know what? You're just at this different stage of your life where you can live the culture, but from the outside. But you know what? And that's what so yeah, I think Local Stranger is everything. It's not just geographically being like, oh, I'm the white guy in Asia, or I'm the Canadian in Netherlands. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just when the moment you feel strange when you're part of that system of life, that book of life, that's when you feel like you're a stranger. That's when Local Stranger is the message,